What is the difference in immigrants 100 years ago coming here and having children here to immigrants coming here illegally now?
What? Slaves weren't immigrants. They were... Oh my God.
Okay. Hello.
Before I begin, Charlie, might I say it's an honor to meet you. After hearing about you for maybe 5 years growing up, and hearing all the negativity about you, I'm it's an honor to be here to get to meet you, because I've always been a believer in listening to what other people have to say. And I just want to ask you a question. Do you like the new name for the body of water that was formerly called the Gulf of Mexico? Oh.
America, baby! The Gulf of America.
All right. All right. Do you also agree with the renaming of the mountain in Alaska that is known as either Mount McKinley or Denali? Do you agree of Donald Trump's renaming of, or I should say President Trump's renaming of that back to Mount McKinley?
I'm generally sympathetic. I can see where you're probably going with this line of questioning, and we'll see how astute you are.
So if you guys don't know what's going on here, Charlie Kirk is debating students at OSU, which is Oklahoma State University, on various issues regarding the Trump administration. He does this a lot. I don't know exactly what this issue is going to be, but I'm excited and looking forward to it. Let's get it.
No, I'm just curious to see what your opinion is.
No, that's fine. There's
it's
no, it's okay. There's a third question you could ask that would be pretty smart, but go ahead.
It's a name. A name's a name. I'm planning on becoming a teacher, so...
No, it's fine. Maybe you're not going there. That's fine.
Yeah. If it says Gulf of America, I'll play Gulf of America, Gulf of Mexico, just the Gulf, whatever it is. It's a name's a name. I'm sure you here in Oklahoma probably still call what is now today Hurricane Harbor. I'm sure some of y'all still call it Whitewater Bay. So, a name's a name. I was just curious about that. Your opinion on that. It's a pleasure to meet you, Charlie, and I'm glad that I could come out to meet you.
Thank you. Let me just say one thing. A name is a name, but name should reflect meaning. And so if a name fails to reflect meaning, then that name should be either reconsidered or brought back to the root. Many of our ancestors, their last name would actually be either their profession or the tribe that they were part of. For example,
yes,
Abraham.
That's my last name. My last name translates to free person in Czech.
Oh, well, very good. So Abraham means father of nations. Moses, for example, means out of the water or redeemer. Jacob means by the heel because he was born literally by the heel, or usurper. Isaac means laugh because Sarah laughed at the idea of having him. So names actually used to really mean something, and I love this idea of bringing naming back to meaning. It's not just semantics. Semantics literally means meaning in its original Greek. Thank you very much.
I appreciate
Thoughtful
it, Charlie.
Question.
Congrats,
Thank
Wyatt.
You. That was a great question. Yeah.
Hi, Charlie. Is it okay if I record this for myself?
Of course you can. Yeah.
So, my name is Jacob Norwood. I'm a junior in high school, and I have a lot of friends who are born from illegal immigrants. And I was wondering if you agreed with the abolishment of the 14th Amendment, which allows birthright citizenship.
Yes, I do. I don't think it's going to hold up, but I do believe that the 14th Amendment was not intended for anchor babies, correct?
Well, I thought it was intended because people who would be brought over here during slavery, and then their children would then have birthright citizenship, and that was kind of the point.
But slaves were granted citizenship, though.
They were granted citizenship after they were brought here forcibly, and then...
Yeah, but then the kids of citizens are kids, though. Are citizens.
What is the difference in immigrants 100 years ago coming here and having children here to immigrants coming here illegally now?
What? Slaves weren't immigrants. They were... Oh, my God. Oh, my God. What is happening to our education system? What is happening to our education system? I cannot believe this. I cannot believe this. The difference is that slaves were brought here on slave ships and forced to do manual labor for free because they were slaves. And this happened for hundreds of years. That's the difference than someone else who forcibly came to a country, then had a baby in that country. Oh my God. What is happening to our education system? I thought this was just common knowledge. Let's continue.
Slaves are a completely different moral category than someone who breaks into your country, right?
Okay, what about Chinese immigrants 100 years ago coming here illegally
I think
and
it
then...
should have been wrong then and it's wrong now, for sure, both.
But then why would people
It's
agree
been
with
tried.
it?
I mean, we've tried to get rid of this for quite some
Why
time.
agree with it then, though? Like, what's changed?
What do you mean, why agree with it? What do you mean
What's
by that?
changed now?
Well, we're revisiting the actual text of the 14th Amendment. I mean, and nothing's necessarily changed except we think the interpretation has been wrong because it says all persons. It's not clear whether or not that means children of U.S. citizens or if it means a foreigner that just gets on a plane who's pregnant and their kid magically gets a U.S. birth certificate. We are one of the only countries in the industrialized world that has birthright citizenship, one of the few. And so, for example, there are tens of thousands of babies born every single year in America of women from China or from Vietnam that get pregnant in Vietnam and China. At about 7 months, they get on a plane, they land and have their baby in America, and that baby gets a U.S. citizenship. I think that's insane. I think it's crazy that you can get on a plane, be pregnant from another country and be a citizen from another country, come here, and then your kid all of a sudden becomes a U.S. citizen. It first of all cuts in line and it dilutes the meaning of U.S. citizenship.
I still don't agree with you, but I know there's not a way I can change your mind.
It's all good. Thank you.
I did actually, I have one more question my dad wanted me to ask you. He said, would you still be a white supremacist if you were in a more diverse work field?
So do you think I'm a white supremacist?
I have no idea if you're a white supremacist. My dad has watched a lot of you. He said if you weren't out here preaching hate and working on your three-pointers, do you think you would probably be better at that?
Yeah, I'm not even going to justify. You should be ashamed of your father.
I'm definitely not. My father's an amazing man.
Yeah.
He cares about American citizens.
Your father
and all of their
peddles
rights.
lies. I'm not a white supremacist. Honestly, shame on him. For someone that runs an organization called Blexit, do you even know what Blexit is?
I do not.
It's literally, we employ 40 black Americans that work in Atlanta, Chicago, and Philadelphia, trying to improve the well-being of inner-city black America. What has your father ever done for inner-city black America other than call me a white supremacist? And by the way,
I think people... Oh my gosh. I think when it comes to Republicans, and I always hear the phrase white supremacy or white supremacists, I think they don't understand people like Charlie Kirk. And they don't understand a lot of Republicans. Charlie Kirk, and for the people who don't understand, I'm going to explain it. Charlie Kirk and a lot of conservatives or Republicans like him don't think a lot about race. They only really think about it in terms of how it's hurting America or how it's helping America. So if you ever listen to Charlie Kirk, the only time he even mentions, I don't think he's ever really said anything about the white community that would give me white supremacists. But the only time he mentions the black community is when he talks about actual statistics. And the reason I'm bringing this up is because the majority of them don't really think about it. They don't think about race as much as you would think they do. They don't. They think about how can America be better? How can the world be better? So when you say they're a white supremacist, it really confuses them because they're like, I don't even think about race that much. I think about America and I go from there. You could say that they're nationalists. They really love America and they really want America to be first in everything. That's what you can say. But white supremacist implies that I think about my race. I don't really like other races. I'm putting my race above everyone else. We're better. We're fundamentally smarter, blah, blah, than other races. But someone like Charlie Kirk, he doesn't really think about it. He wants, if you hear him speak, he wants fairness across all races. He wants merit-based everything. He doesn't care if a place is diverse or not. It doesn't bother him at all. That is like very race blind. And people look at race blindness as white supremacy. But let me know what you guys think about this. Let me know if you agree or disagree with my stance or my stance on him or Republicans. Let's continue.
Secondly,
Black
it's just so
people
ridiculous. It's like it's
black
somehow
people for your companies or whatever you do does not make you a
so
white supremacist.
What is a white supremacist?
A white supremacist is somebody who takes advantage and believes that they are higher than everybody else.
Do I believe that?
I have no idea.
Okay, exactly. And so there's no evidence whatsoever, and yet people go around sloppily saying, you're a racist, you're a white supremacist. It is so destructive to our dialogue. It's destructive to us coming together as a country, and there's nothing to support it whatsoever. So thank you for your time, and shame on your father for peddling that crap.
Let me know what you guys think about that. And I watched a lot of Charlie Kirk. It just seems like he's very race blind, and I guess race blindness would be the new white supremacy. Do you guys know one of the longest filibusters ever in American history? It was just overtaken by the most recent one. I forgot his name. I forgot his name. But before that, the longest filibuster was because of the Civil Rights Act. Someone was filibustering so the Civil Rights Act would not get passed. If you guys don't know what the Civil Rights Act is, it's an act for equal opportunity across races and all genders. That is racism. That is white supremacy. When you're willing to stand for 20 hours in order for all races of people to not legally get equal treatment, not special treatment, equal treatment. That's racism. But when you have someone who's arguing for merit-based everything, that's not racism. It's just race blindness. He just wants all races, like he just wants the best person for the job. But let me know what you guys think. My name is LFR Jojo, and I'll see you on the next one. Peace.